finding multifamily properties for sale USA in real estate investing has become a central challenge for many Americans who want stable, scalable real estate opportunities. On Real Estate Capital and Growth USA, we explore how multifamily properties shape long-term housing demand, local market stability, and investment growth across the nation. Multifamily real estate refers to residential buildings with two or more separate living units, from duplexes to large apartment complexes, that generate consistent rental occupancy. Across the United States, these buildings form a vital part of the housing ecosystem, providing both shelter and community. They also contribute to urban development and neighborhood revitalization, making them a key element in the country's housing structure. Before we begin, please note that this video is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not provide financial, legal, or investment advice. Always conduct your own independent research before making any real estate decisions. Now, to understand where the most promising listings emerge, let's look at how U.S. markets differ across regions. Understanding key U.S. markets for multifamily listings. Multifamily properties for sale USA in real estate investing continue to capture attention across major metropolitan regions, where population growth and urban expansion shape new housing opportunities. Across the United States, cities like Dallas, Fort Worth, Atlanta, and Phoenix show steady demand for multifamily residences driven by employment growth, lifestyle shifts, and the increasing preference for flexible living spaces. These areas illustrate how demographic trends and infrastructure investments influence the visibility and availability of multifamily listings in the U.S. market. Across America's diverse real estate landscape, multifamily housing remains a cornerstone of stable community development and sustainable neighborhood growth. Understanding where and how these properties appear in different regions helps investors grasp the market's broader structure and the dynamics behind it. Regional overview. Different regions of the United States offer distinct patterns in multifamily properties for sale USA in real estate investing. In the South and Southwest, including Texas, Florida, and Arizona, population influx and economic diversification have led to steady multifamily construction. The Midwest, on the other hand, reflects affordability and consistent long-term tenants, while the Northeast and West Coast focus on urban redevelopment and renovation of existing apartment complexes. Market variations stem from diverse regional factors such as local workforce size, migration trends, and urban zoning frameworks. These conditions influence the balance between new developments and older multifamily units being modernized into energy-efficient buildings. Such patterns reveal how regional dynamics shape the availability of properties across U.S. cities. Next, let's look deeper into what influences availability and market flow in these varied regions across the country. Factors influencing availability. Availability of multifamily properties in the United States depends on a range of structural and demographic factors. Population growth drives demand for apartment living, especially in fast-growing metros like Austin, Nashville, and Denver. Job creation in technology, healthcare, and logistics sectors continues to attract residents to these regions, increasing occupancy rates and prompting consistent multifamily development. In some states, aging housing stock and redevelopment projects create renewed interest in established neighborhoods. Developers often focus on sustainable designs that reflect modern living preferences while maintaining community integrity. This illustrates how multifamily listings evolve naturally through time and market adaptation rather than through speculative trends. Having explored what affects the availability of properties, we can now review how descriptive market trends reflect the health and rhythm of the U.S. multifamily sector. Descriptive market trends. Across the national landscape, multifamily listings show steady movement with patterns linked to migration, interest in suburban located complexes, and evolving renter demographics. Large metro areas maintain high demand for small unit apartments, while suburban zones attract families seeking more space and access to outdoor amenities. Modern property descriptions in U.S. listings increasingly highlight sustainability, proximity to public transportation, and access to essential services. These aspects reflect the lifestyle preferences of today's renters rather than speculative investment behavior. Such descriptive insights help build a broader understanding of how multifamily properties for sale USA and real estate investing adapt to population and design trends in different American markets. As we conclude this section, let's summarize the diversity and evolving rhythm of multifamily markets across the country. In summary, the U.S. multifamily housing landscape reflects regional diversity, population dynamics, and evolving residential preferences. Whether in dense urban areas or quiet suburban communities, multifamily properties for sale USA and real estate investing reveal how American housing continues to evolve with changing lifestyles and demographic movements. Understanding these broad market dynamics allows investors to follow how multifamily properties influence the country's housing balance. Now that the regional picture is clear, the next step explores how to research multifamily listings effectively, using reliable information sources. Basic research methods for property listings. In the world of real estate investing in the U.S., understanding basic research methods for property listings forms the foundation of every informed decision. Investors and analysts rely on structured data to navigate vast national and local databases, identifying multifamily opportunities in dynamic markets such as Florida, Texas, and Arizona. These research strategies are not about predicting financial outcomes, but about organizing information efficiently to interpret real estate market trends. Navigating online databases. Online platforms dedicated to U.S. multifamily listings allow researchers to filter by region, property size, and age of construction. Databases such as national housing registries and verified listing sites provide structured access to thousands of properties. The key lies in identifying accurate, updated data points rather than focusing on speculative opportunities. These platforms ensure transparency and allow a comparative view of multiple metropolitan zones, essential for understanding how urban rental dynamics evolve across states. Utilizing public and regional sources. Beyond private databases, municipal and state-level housing portals often host valuable multifamily listings that don't appear on major national websites. These resources include city housing departments, redevelopment authorities, and regional planning boards. Their listings, though less advertised, often reflect ongoing shifts in community housing needs and zoning developments. This research method offers perspective on availability and market balance. Analyzing market reports and trends. Evaluating regional market reports helps professionals compare rental averages, occupancy trends, and renovation cycles across multiple cities. When examined collectively, these metrics paint a picture of evolving rental ecosystems, highlighting where modernization or demand growth is most pronounced. The purpose is analytical and informational, to recognize patterns in data, not to forecast profits. This structured analysis strengthens comprehension of real estate cycles within multifamily markets across the United States. Researching U.S. multifamily listings is an evolving, data-driven process. It combines access to verified national databases, regional housing portals, and professional market reports into a clear, factual overview. The objective remains purely educational, to help investors and researchers understand the structure of multifamily data within the broader American housing landscape. Tools and resources for sourcing properties. In the landscape of real estate investing across the United States, technology has redefined how professionals source multifamily properties. From mapping platforms to public data dashboards, digital tools have become the cornerstone of objective analysis. They provide transparent insights into zoning laws, infrastructure, and neighborhood profiles that shape property decisions in cities like Austin, Denver, and Miami. Understanding these resources doesn't predict investment outcomes, it simply strengthens clarity in how data can inform broader market comprehension. Data visualization and mapping platforms. Modern real estate data visualization platforms integrate demographic and geographic insights in a single dashboard. Tools like interactive GIS-based systems allow professionals to overlay property listings with population growth zones, infrastructure networks, and rental density heat maps. By combining geographic intelligence with structured data, users can interpret neighborhood evolution patterns across the United States. This approach builds a factual perspective on property distribution and accessibility without suggesting personal investment actions. Public data and census-based insights. Public data repositories such as the U.S. Census Bureau's housing statistics and municipal development archives serve as reliable sources for understanding population shifts and urban expansion. These datasets reveal trends in occupancy, construction rates, and demographic composition that affect multifamily dynamics nationwide. They are particularly valuable in regions like the Midwest and Southeast, where growth corridors reflect balanced development between affordability and employment proximity. Incorporating this data supports analytical transparency in evaluating housing market equilibrium across states. Evaluating community and infrastructure context. Advanced property sourcing tools now combine real-time infrastructure maps with proximity analytics, tracking access to schools, healthcare, transit lines, and employment hubs. These systems don't predict profitability, instead, they frame how location context supports livability and long-term occupancy trends. The capacity to visualize neighborhood connectivity offers a structural understanding of urban functionality that enhances precision when describing multifamily listings across diverse American cities. The digital landscape of U.S. multifamily property research is driven by accuracy and accessibility. Using mapping tools, census-based platforms, and data visualization resources fosters an objective, transparent view of neighborhood and infrastructure alignment. Each software application contributes to a clearer understanding of how location and community elements shape real estate descriptions. Evaluating property details descriptively. When studying multifamily properties for sale USA in real estate investing, understanding structural and environmental details transforms raw listings into meaningful data. Each multifamily property represents a unique intersection of design, age, and sustainability, factors that shape its position within America's vast housing market ecosystem. From construction type to occupancy trends, descriptive evaluation strengthens awareness of how properties function in real-world contexts. Now, let's entering into the analytical breakdown. Physical and structural characteristics. Evaluating a multifamily property begins with observing its physical composition. Elements such as the number of units, construction material, building layout, and age reveal how the structure interacts with maintenance cycles and long-term durability. In regions like Texas, Florida, and North Carolina, newer developments often integrate climate-adaptive materials and efficient layouts that reduce environmental strain. Meanwhile, older constructions in the Northeast illustrate the evolution of urban housing architecture in the U.S. multifamily sector. Descriptive observation of these physical details establishes a factual understanding of how properties age and adapt across time. Location and environmental context. Geographic context defines a property's functional reality. Multifamily assets near business districts, universities, and transportation corridors tend to sustain consistent occupancy levels, as accessibility supports everyday convenience. Suburban properties, especially in regions like Georgia and Arizona, display different rhythms, balancing quiet residential demand with gradual population growth. Evaluating proximity to infrastructure, green spaces, and employment centers offers a transparent view of community integration and location dynamics across the United States. Operational and maintenance indicators. Descriptive evaluation also extends to operational indicators such as occupancy ratios, building maintenance summaries, and recent upgrades. For example, properties with documented structural updates, like improved roofing, plumbing, or solar energy integration, provide a record of upkeep consistency. These details, presented through data rather than prediction, contribute to a neutral perspective on property sustainability and infrastructure management in the U.S. multifamily housing market. Evaluating multifamily property details descriptively is about translating data into clarity. From physical design to environmental alignment and operational upkeep, each aspect contributes to understanding how a property supports consistent residential use within the United States multifamily housing landscape. By maintaining a neutral lens focused on factual indicators, professionals can describe property characteristics confidently and objectively, without assumptions or speculative conclusions. This structured perspective enriches educational narratives in real estate investing while ensuring compliance with modern digital publishing standards. Networking and information gathering approaches. In the realm of U.S. real estate investing, networking remains one of the most reliable ways to access updated, location-specific insights that data alone cannot reveal. Whether exploring multifamily markets in cities like Dallas, Phoenix, or Atlanta, informed connections can significantly refine an investor's understanding of property dynamics and market direction. Engaging in professional circles builds long-term value, especially when participants exchange factual, experience-based perspectives. From public seminars to online industry summits, networking transforms isolated facts into actionable, research-driven awareness that benefits analytical investors across the United States. Professional engagement. Engaging with real estate professionals, including brokers, property managers, and market researchers, adds valuable depth to public data. Conferences across major U.S. real estate hubs, such as Los Angeles, Houston, and Miami, often discuss multifamily housing growth and evolving infrastructure. These discussions introduce investors to emerging submarkets and urban redevelopment trends that define rental demand and property sustainability. Staying connected through verified networks ensures consistent exposure to factual, region-based updates. Digital communities and research. Online platforms have transformed the way analytical investors exchange information. Forums, professional LinkedIn groups, and verified real estate communities allow members to share updates on property valuations, infrastructure projects, and U.S. regional housing trends. Such collective observation strengthens market comprehension and encourages responsible, research-based discussions. Real-world connections. Offline engagement still holds an irreplaceable place in U.S. real estate investing. Attending community housing meetups, city planning open sessions, or regional property expos creates an authentic view of how development initiatives influence local markets. By observing city-level conversations and infrastructure planning, investors build contextual awareness that complements online research, transforming statistics into practical understanding of the American housing landscape. Strategic networking, both online and offline, strengthens analytical accuracy and market awareness. By combining structured information gathering with authentic professional connections, investors develop a broader perspective on how the U.S. multifamily market evolves over time. These relationships encourage disciplined observation and continuous learning within an ever-changing housing environment. While every investor's journey differs, the foundation of successful real estate understanding lies in consistent, data-informed, and community-driven engagement, not speculation. This ensures the narrative remains neutral, educational, and adaptable across the shifting American real estate landscape. Organize research results in a simple digital file. Note property type, region, and key attributes. Document promising opportunities for later review, and continue exploring educational content about U.S. real estate dynamics. For ongoing learning about multifamily properties for sale USA and real estate investing, subscribe to Real Estate Capital and Growth USA, and stay informed about future explorations of property trends across the nation. Thank you for watching.